Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the next terrifying episode of Random Rhapsodies, Sonnet of Blood. I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master for this Curse of Strahd playthrough. And joining me around my virtual table tonight are Brandie, Marty, and Natalie. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Now, before we begin, we do have a few announcements to get through, starting with the first of our two sponsors for tonight's show, Hero Forge. Marty?
All right, Hero Forge offers fully customizable tabletop miniatures with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy-to-use design tool lets you build your perfect miniature online using a fully 3D in-depth character creator right in your web browser. That's where we built our tokens for this evening's game. You can build your own today at heroforge.com.
Thank you, Marty. Our next sponsor for tonight's show is XSplit. XSplit is a high-quality virtual webcam background remover that works with your already existing webcam. Using this program, you can protect your privacy while you work or play remotely. You can blur, remove the background entirely, or even put your favorite picture as the background instead. You can download the app today at xsplit.com, and if you use the coupon code RANDOM with a capital R, you can get 10% off of your purchase. You can find our referral link in the chat and show description. Last but not least, I'm just going to remind you that the Season 3 of our two main campaigns on Mondays are coming to a close. It's not too much longer before the Debauchery Circus is finishing up their stuff, and the Fab Five will be going just a little bit longer, but this is coming to the close of these two campaigns. They still every Monday at 3 p.m. Central and 7 p.m. Central, respectively. Now you can keep up to date on everything we do in the Random Rhapsody Network by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV and on Twitter as @random_rhapsody. And that's going to do it for the announcements. So join us as we return to the land of Barovia and continue on with the Conclave expedition as they attempt to survive. A sonnet of blood. Ah ha 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 ha. And we're back. So, as you all know, we do our recaps a little differently in this series. Whoever tells us about the last session is going to be getting the Random Rhapsody coin, which they can then redeem during the session for one free Nat 20. Nobody wants me to get that, so our great cast always makes sure to volunteer to do the recap. And today, that person is going to be whom?
Me.
Okay. Danika, why don't you tell us what happened last time on Sonnet of Blood?
This is going to be Danika's diary entry part 2. Y'all, so we went to bury the Burgermaster, and we carried the casket to the cemetery, but it was real heavy. He was a hefty man. Once we arrived at the cemetery, I knocked on the church door and I asked for a sexton. This feeble old man answered. His name was Brother Donovich. with the ICH itch. But when he cracked that door, I could hear screaming from the inside, and it sounded very suspicious. After that, we all went to the graveside to kind of prepare for the interment of the Burgermaster. That being said, I decided I had to use the bathroom at that opportune time. And I took my good friend Delphine with me for an adventure. So we went back to the church and we were going to figure out what those screams were. We searched through both the windows. we could hear some noises. We ended up going inside because the door was unlocked, so we were let right in. And we found somebody talking through the undercroft of the church. That ended up being a man named Doru. Going from there, we left the church, but Delphine had this great idea to kind of make the whole thing very convincible to the rest of the group to cover ourselves with feces. And so, to take one for the team, Danika, myself, decided to dip my boot into the poop. It didn't go as well as we planned. My boot fell in, it got stuck, it wasn't the most pleasant, but we got it back. Delphine would not let me push Brother Donovich into the grave and interrogate him. So we ended up just asking him, and we found out that it was his son. And his son may be inflicted with vampirism. So after leaving the church, we decided to head back to the Burgermaster's place. But we ended up losing some money because I didn't get to do my show, and it was basically a sold-out performance. So I felt really bad for all the people that showed up to watch. So we went back to the Burgermaster's place, where we basically found out that we are going to be heading to this town called, I have it written down, hold on a second. We found the path to Algeba, and it's kind of far away. So we decided that we might need to get some sort of assistance with traveling. And so there was a recommendation from Ishmark to stop at the Vistani camp to possibly see if we can get some horses. And so that's kind of the battle plan tomorrow. And thanks to Vide, Ishmark agreed to give us some extra money. So we're going to be rich. My boot smells, but we might get horses. The end.
Solid.
Okay, there you go, Danika. There's the Random Rhapsody coin. Don't forget, it only works this session, so make sure you use it. Well, expedition members, you are all still sitting in the Kolyanovich's sitting room inside their manor in the southern part of Jova Village. You've all been poring over the map that Ismark the Lesser has given you, on which he has written the names of the towns in Barovia, as well as marking the Sauvage Road, which is the main paved road here in Barovia. Are any of you proficient with the cartographer's tools?
No.
As a matter of fact, I am not.
I guess nobody did. Oh well, then never mind.
Is Cog?
Can't hear you, Joe.
Cog, you can't hear me? Hold on.
Now we can.
I hear you now.
Cog is good at reading. He's not good at maps.
Fair enough.
Keep
So
books.
So then, with that in mind, it's difficult to tell exactly how far away Algeba is from Jova, at least as far as the road goes. But you're estimating at least it's gonna take quite a few days to get from one side to the other. Now, anywho, so as you all been sitting there poring over this map, it's gotten to be a little bit late. Ireena eventually comes in and tells everyone that dinner is ready. She's made a vegetable stew, and everybody, of course, is invited, and so I'm sure you will all go head out and make your way into the kitchen. Now, the meal, I imagine, is kind of somber, but if anyone has any questions they want to ask the either Ireena or Ismark, now is kind of the time you have to do that. Because, as Ismark has said, you all are going to have an early start. You want to leave right at sunrise to make your way to the Vistani camp as soon as possible. So, you want to get to bed pretty soon. And, given the fact that you woke up at like 5 a.m., you're all fairly tuckered out. And at least 2 of you are still exhausted. But if you have any other questions for either Ireena or Ismark, now is really the time.
Is there anybody in town that would be that they think might be interested in buying priceless jewels?
Ismark thinks about that a little bit. He says, well, there is the man who owns the general store, but to be completely honest, he does not like strangers.
I'm pretty sure he's the one that threw us out of his store.
Oh, yeah. We were there for all of 5 minutes, and he shoved us out the door.
It's totally not my fault, by the way. Wasn't me. I mean, it might have been me. I don't remember.
I also don't remember.
Yes, that sounds like Bildrath. He is a hard man to deal with, and his nephew, Periwinkle, is nothing but muscle and meat. Nothing in the head.
His nephew's name is Periwinkle?
It's what
color?
most people call him. Periwinkle.
Oh, okay. Accent was a little thick. Maybe that's why.
His
thought
real
you said
name is
Periwinkle.
Carpool.
Carpool.
Oh, my leg. Oh, I missed this.
But anyway, other than that, the Vistani love gems and jewels. You quite often you can sell things like that to them. But it is after dark, and I do not think you wish to travel the village at night.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
You all share a meal in relative silence, other than a few questions here and there. You're all very, very tired. And Ireena tries to make small talk like a good hostess should, but even that is kind of strained, given the situation that, she's going to be leaving her home here in the morning. So, you all eventually finish your food, and Ireena takes the visual cues and suggests that she show you all where your rooms are. And I actually have a map for this. Because you know how much I love maps.
I love maps.
Ireena and Ismark lead the 5 of you, as well as Davos, up the stairs into the 2nd floor, where you find a very long hallway with quite a number of rooms along it. Ireena steps forward first and lets you know that now The room up here is to the one to the north is my father's room. I would prefer it if no one go in there. It's still painful to me. But we do have 3 other guest rooms. And she leads you to the 3 on the southern side of the building. The 3 that are opened here. Walking through, you see 3 small but nicely furnished rooms, each with a large double bed, a dresser, table, chairs, and a fireplace, where a small fire has already been lit in each. The rooms are warm and cozy, and you can't help but notice that while each room does have a window, each window has been nailed shut. There are boards covering it, nailed inward on the inside to keep them closed. You'd also notice that on the outside, the shutters were also nailed shut. The 3 rooms you have are the 3 along the southern side, like I said, here, here, and here. The hallway itself, very sparsely furnished. There's a painting of a mountainside on one wall. And on the other is a picture of a man and a woman, both of whom have a fair resemblance to Ismark. The woman, long blonde hair. The man, shorter, pudgy, with a large mustache, who you can very clearly take to be his father. Ismark then leads you down to the western side of the hallway, where there are 2 more doors. He indicates that the one to the on the western facing side is his bedroom, while the one on the northern facing side is Ireena's. Ireena tells you all, as I said, some of you will have to double up, but please feel free to make use of these rooms tonight.
Don't mind if I do.
And she kind of watches you all as you all go about inspecting
them. Oh, this would be lovely for, let's see here. Oh, just look over his shoulder and Vide. And fucking her's like, oh, we can't do that. It's like, I'll just curl up on the rug, guys. We'll be fine.
I mean, there's 3 rooms, right?
Well, Delphine and Danika can have one. I'll take one on my own. You know, I am. If you guys,
are you
guys
saying
want
you don't
the third
want
one, right? Not what I was going for, but you know, I was trying to play matchmaker, and anyway, yeah, I don't care. I'll sleep anywhere, sweetheart.
Davos, the little boy you all saved.
You know what? He and I can have a room. Boom, perfect. I'll take care of the kid. Vide, if you and Urzak want to get comfortable.
I mean, Vide could actually, Vide doesn't necessarily need a bed, so.
Oh, you're not making it any better.
Vide will sit on this chair right here and watch over all the rooms.
Danika is gonna grab Delphine's hand, and we're gonna go in this room with we're gonna go in the one with the bear skin or wolf skin rug. Let's go.
Okay. You lead Delphine into the other room, and she just kind of shrugs and goes along with it because Dyto's not here today. The child, Davos, looks to you and says, "This is a very nice room. I've never slept in a room with an actual bed before."
It's all yours, buddy. And I could read. You know what? I know a lot of great stories from back home. Some cool adventures with knights fighting monsters. We're gonna have a good night, bud.
Oh, you're going to tell me a story?
Oh, I got all the stories, buddy.
Okay. Well, Urzak, it seems like you've got a room to yourself because Vide is just kipping out on a chair in the hallway.
Wonderful.
Give it a love, buddy. Give it a love.
Ismark and Ireena both bid you all a good night, and Ismark tells you that that he will awaken you before dawn, and he heads off to his room as well. I know that during the evening, Delphine was planning on using some of that money that Ismark had offered to do some work. So before that you all go to bed, she does ask Ismark to hand over the money he promised, and he does so. What he hands over is a bag of coins filled with 1,000 electrum pieces, which is worth about 500 gold.
Of course, Ismark is an Electrum guy.
The odd thing is that Barovia itself is an Electrum country. And when you pull out the coins and examine them, you see a stern-faced man on it that Ismark tells you is the face of Strahd von Zarovich.
Oh.
Other than that, which is the 500 he offered, he also produces a bag of 350 gold pieces to go with when Vide had requested a little extra to help out, getting horses and things like that. And so, Delphine is able to put a first and second level spell into her spell book by working for about, I think it's like 2.5 hours or something like that in total for these 3 spells. No, it's an hour, and hour for the first one, 2 hours for the second, something like that. Yeah, I think that's about right. Anyway, however long she uses that for, she puts the gold into the component pouch, which creates components and which produces the paper that she needs, which. Yes, it's 170 gold per person in total.
Here comes the money.
Mm-hmm. Afterwards, Delphine goes to bed as well. Now, does anybody else have any preparations that they need to do before turning in for the night?
I think Urzak, as he's getting ready and he's taking his armor off and he's preparing to go to sleep finally, he's exhausted, just kind of sits for a moment and meditates and says just a quick prayer to Balris, just hey, it's been crazy, if you could just give me a sign or something, I don't know, just kind of a light plea for help.
Absolutely. As you finish your prayers and you just kind of wait for a while, you have the room to yourself, which is nice. You're sitting there on your bed, hoping, waiting for some sign, some recognition therein. And as you're waiting on the bed, you eventually drift off to sleep. The rest of you all do the same. And you are able to get a long night's rest.
I'm so tired.
You absolutely. So you are able to get rid of 1 point of your exhaustion, and You get your spells back. You get your hit points up. You regain half your hit dice. The works.
Yes.
Now, you had gone to bed very, very early. It was just a little bit after dark, and you do sleep through the night, each one of you. You awaken, and as you do so, it's not hard to tell what time it is exactly. But you waken feeling refreshed, really refreshed for the first time since coming to Barovia. As you awaken, you all busy yourselves with your morning rituals, readying your spells, cleaning your weapons, donning your armor, praying to your god, etc. Vide, you've spent the evening out in the hallway, kind of just leaning in your chair, head back, hat down over your eyes. As the time passes and you start hearing the rest of your party members stir, go ahead and give me a perception check.
That would be a nat 20 for 23.
Okay. You hear an odd sort of sound. You're just kind of laying there. You're hearing everybody else in their rooms getting up and starting preparing themselves and that sort of thing. But you hear something else as well. It sounds like it came from Ireena's room, and it sounded like a clatter or a crash. It wasn't loud, like a it was more of like a heavy thump. What do you do?
I'm gonna go over. Where's her room at again?
Her room is down the hall and to the far right. Down here.
I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna knock on the door and say, hey, is everything okay in there?
Going with that 23, like, at first there's nothing. You don't hear anything. But then you hear something else, like a shuffle and a like hands hitting wood, and then a gasp.
I'm gonna check the door. Is the door locked?
You go and check the handle. The door is locked.
I'm gonna knock on the door a little bit harder. Hey, do you need help?
You hit the door again. I would. Oh, that's. My camera moved.
You hit the door too hard.
Yeah, you hit the door too hard. Anyway, you bang on the door, and you hear a sound that sounds like a female voice saying, "Go." All of you, you have, most of you have, like, I think a 12 and a 13 passive perception. If anyone who has a 13 would have been able to hear Vide through their doors to their room, banging.
Danika's gonna make her way over, and she's gonna see what's going on from Vide.
I'm gonna tell her something.
And I'm gonna bust out my lockpick skills. Can I do that? We're gonna open that door.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me a lockpicking check.
Oh my god, okay, what is that? Is that sleight of hand? What is that?
That would be a sleight of hand check, yes.
Yeah. 21.
21. Very easily, you slip in your picks. It's not a difficult pick to lock. The door is unlocked.
Lock to pick.
Yes. It's not a difficult lock to pick. You click, 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 tick. The door is unlocked and opened, and as it swings open, the sight you see causes your breath to catch. You see Ireena literally being pulled out the window by something, and a group of imps pouring through the broken open window. And so I'm going to need everybody to roll for initiative.
Oh
Roll
shit!
for initiative.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Do we have enough time to like try and grab her, or is she already like gone?
Oh no, like she's like being pulled out as we speak.
13.
Initiative. Where are you at? Initiative.
I think that. I think there's a better one. Yeah, we go.
So we don't have time to like slam the door shut and try to run downstairs?
To slam the door, like you opened the door and saw that, and that's when initiative's happening. So whoever gets to go first, that's who's going to be going first. You know what? Darn it. Gotta reload roll 20. But as I'm reloading roll 20, I'll just go ahead and describe the scene a little bit better. The sight that you're seeing is the far northern window that was like boarded up. The boards have been ripped away from the window and is currently lying in a pile on the floor in front of Ireena, who is being pulled, like bodily pulled, out of the open window. You can't see the subject of the individual who's doing the pulling, but I mean, it's not hard to put two and two together. But around them, swirling out in through the window as well towards you all, is a horde of imps. These are small creatures, big bat wings, a scorpion-like tail, and a kind of almost chimpanzee-looking like face, but with long horns coming out of their head, and their entire body is red and slightly furry. They're all screeching and hissing as they're flying towards your group right now. Now I gotta roll for some initiative, because it took a while for roll 20 to load.
Are we putting Delphine in initiative?
Yes, I will be putting Delphine.
Okay.
Actually, who wants to control Delphine? I'm gonna have one of you all control her.
I'll do it.
Okay. Okay, Marty, you should be able to control her now.
Thunderhole.
Okay. Were you able to roll it? Yes, you were. Perfect. Okay. We are going to be starting things off here with one of the imps, in fact. The imp is the first, almost one of the first ones that had made it through the window and is flying, screeching as it comes towards you all. It is going to, let's see here. It is going to move right in the middle of the door, right there, and is going to try to attack Vide with its stinging. But that's an 8. So Vide, you see this imp flying towards you. It stabs at you with its tail, but you see it coming, Vide, and you're able to push the door up just in time, and it deflects the tail away from you. Next up, we have Delphine.
Okay. Delphine, I guess, is just kind of in the middle of the hallway already.
Yep.
Let's see. What's her movement? 30 feet. Okay. 10, 15, 20. Okay, so I'll move Delphine kind of like here-ish. I don't have line of sight on anything, I don't think.
No, it doesn't look like it.
I will have Delphine prepare a firebolt in case anything tries to get through the door. Or if anything comes in line of sight.
Okay. Next up, we have Vide. Vide, what are you doing?
Let's see. This guy's technically within my reach, right?
Yes, he is within 5 feet of you.
I swear to God, if you bite me. I'm gonna hit him with my sword. Sorry, your cat's over here rubbing all up against my arm. I don't know. Am I supposed to have this +2 fighting? Oh, I don't think I'm supposed to have that +2.
You should not, no.
Okay, so just 16.
See how when
Okay.
the cat's gonna bite her, it's your cat's.
Oh, that's totally his cat. She usually doesn't like me, and it makes me very nervous when she's that close.
Well, a 16 is going to hit.
I'm sorry, that's 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. You slash through this this imp, and your blade, it's that moon touch scimitar, so it glows brightly as you bring it to bear. It cuts through the creature, doing quite a bit of damage to it. It looks severely hurt, like it's holding its belly, trying to keep its intestines inside of it still.
Good. That'll be it for me. Or actually,
Yeah.
can I just like kind of squeeze right on in here just to give somebody else space? Actually, maybe right here, because that would give me like that. Still put me within his reach, so that would not do attack top opportunity, would it?
No, you're still within the reach. It's kind of squiffy based on where the door is, but the thing is small, so I'm going to allow it. You're able to squeeze in through the door and around to the other side of the creature without provoking that attack of opportunity.
Okay, and that'll be it.
Okay. Next up, we have another imp that's going to come flying around. It's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet to right there, and it's going to attempt to attack you, stabbing at you with that scorpion-like tail that the imp has. Oh God, I'm rolling shitty today. That's just a 9, so you're able to.
These rolls.
Yeah, you flip that scimitar up and just smack the tail away before it comes close to you.
Mosquitoes are kind of bad in here.
Next up, we have the individual that's currently pulling Ireena out of the door, or out of the window. She is going to be doing, or they are going to be doing a athletics check. So they are pulling at Ireena, trying to get them out the door, but Ireena's a little bit thicker than they were expecting at first and is having a bit of time. Ireena... Oh, actually, I forgot to include
That's a hell of
Ireena.
a name.
What's that?
That's a hell of a name on her. Volenta Popotsky.
Quit looking at chat.
I'd see it's a strength check.
Well, don't look at it. I'll have to put it as to GM from now on.
What? How is that gonna honestly help me? I don't.
I don't know. I'm just talking shit. Okay. I forgot to put Ireena in turn order. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Because see, in turn order, it just shows question mark. So.
Jesus.
Anyway, the vampire is pulling away at Ireena. Ireena is kind of stuck there, but doesn't seem all that unwilling. Next up, we have Danika.
I'm gonna move forward into the room. kinda... Is right here okay? And
Yeah.
then I'm gonna use my rapier to attack the one that's, stomach and guts are about to fall out.
Okay.
Ooh.
I guess I got a 9.
Yep, and that's not gonna do it. You stab at the imp that's holding its guts in, but it manages to dodge out of the way.
Damn it. Oh, can I use my bonus action to give Cog some bardic inspiration?
Absolutely. How do you inspire Cog?
I'm going to sing a little jingle for Cog, and I'm gonna go, Cog, come here and kill this thing right now.
That was pretty good.
Mhm.
Ah, it's like music to my heart.
Speaking of which, Cog, you're next.
Well, he's gonna come in and see all the awfulness. Yeah, he'll get in fully. So I guess I'll come over. Can I get on the other? Oh no, it won't let me move in. Well, we'll stay there for now. He's like, are these with you guys? Because he saw Vide coming. He goes, these are your friends, right? It's like, well,
These
they're
are not
being
friends.
rude. He's gonna
Can't hear
reach
you,
up.
Brandie.
I was saying these are not friends.
He's gonna reach up and grab. I guess they're flying. How high above the ground? Because Cog is small.
They're actually just flying about 7 feet off the ground.
Only 7 feet. Well, that fucking changes things. Because I mean, he's got something, but it requires him to touch. And he is a teeny wee little man. I mean, I guess it'd be up to you if you'd let me do inflict wounds from the ground.
So, well, here's my question. Like, what's your high jump?
Would you like
Well-
me to pick you up?
Oh, you. If you want to get something bit, you don't fucking ask a small person that. Well, I mean, he's 3'2", and he's got a strength score of 10. So he's got an even modifier. I don't know what the... Unless you're going to let him do like a little Super Mario jump up and...
I'm trying to remember what's the math for high jump. When you make a high jump, you leap into the air a number of feet equal to 3 plus your strength modifier.
So,
And if you move at least 10 feet on foot immediately if you move it at least 10 feet immediately before the jump. When you're making a standing high jump, you can only jump half that distance.
So I can only get up to like 4.5 feet? Well, yeah, so I can jump 1.5 feet then?
Yeah.
Well, then I suppose... You know what, then? He's just gonna... I'll throw out something different, because I can't. If they're that far off the fucking ground...
You know what? Let's say this one is right at 4 feet, just because I feel sorry for Cog.
Yeah, let's
And
remember,
he's
we've
really
got...
hurt too.
Yeah, his guts are hanging out,
Oh, this is the one that was really hurt? This one right here?
Yeah.
Well, then we'll see what we can do. Yeah, he's gonna do an inflict wounds on him, so... I'm assuming a 21 touches. And we'll hit him.
Yeah, a 21's gonna hit him.
It's 17 necrotic.
Bam.
Well, weird
Damn.
thing is that when you touch the imp, the necrotic it hurts him, but it doesn't seem to hurt him nearly as much as you're expecting him to. But it's still enough to kill him.
Yeah,
So
it's like-
even though it doesn't seem to affect him nearly as much, it's still more than enough to take him out.
It's like he just jumps up, grabs on just all of his little, 40... I mean, shit, I don't even remember how pathetically... 39 pounds of force, he's just pulling his way, got his arm, he just yanks this little bitch to the ground and just slams him on the ground. And he's like, ha! It's like, that's right! It's like I decided to pick some other spells in the morning. So now I can hurt 2 ways. That's right. And I guess is this a wall? There's a wall right there, right?
That is a wall right there. Yes.
Yeah. Then he will back out because he's gonna have to let other people get in. And he's just going to shout at the top of his little lungs. He's like, Greedy, get in here!
Well, we'll see.
Absolutely.
That's
Next
scary.
up, we got another imp, and that imp is going to be flying towards Danika to try to attack her. But I can't seem to be able to roll over a 10 today, so that's another miss.
Yay!
Everything's fine and cool.
Yeah, so hey, Urzak, you kind of got up and did your morning ritual of going to the bathroom, and while you're sitting on the toilet, you just started hearing a bunch of banging and yelling. So what are you doing?
So I think it's been enough time in combat where Urzak has like recognized that something's up, and he's I'm gonna full dash out of the bathroom that's down here by my room. Let's see, that's 5. I need to get the ruler out. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Okay. So I get out the door and I'm like I'm hopping out of my room, like putting one of my greaves on. And I have 15 feet of movement left. I get exactly here.
Cog, you just watch as suddenly the door to Urzak's room bursts open, and Urzak comes running in, hopping on one foot, while getting on his greave, and comes to rest right next to you. And you kind of look down, and there's a bit of there's a few leaves stuck to his boot.
What you been doing there, big fella?
All I'm gonna say is don't go in there. Anyway, I can't do anything from this range, I don't think.
No.
I have javelins, but there's probably nothing within line of sight.
And you dashed, so that was your action.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You technically have a bonus action, but I doubt you can use it right now.
I could cast Sanctuary on somebody.
Hey, there you go.
Wait. Within range. How far away is Ireena?
Can you see Ireena is the question.
This doesn't say I need to see them. It just says you ward a creature within range against attack.
Okay,
So
pop up Sanctuary for me,
Okay.
so I can take a look at that. Okay.
I'm guessing she's more than 30 feet away from me yet.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about like walls or anything of that. So as long as you're, I still feel like I don't know, but yeah, she is past 30 feet.
Okay.
Regardless,
All right. Well, that's all I got this time.
it doesn't say anything about seeing the creature. It just says you ward a creature.
This turn would have gone differently if I had known we were just spawning in the hallway, but I didn't move my token, and I was like, it'd be funny if Urzak was just in the bathroom when this started.
Yeah, no, I support it. I support that. Okay. Next up, we have Ireena. Some of you can see Ireena now. Danika, Vide, the two of you definitely can. And you watch it. She's being pulled, and she's like kind of hanging out from the window partially. But then you're surprised as you watch as she lifts a knee up and starts pushing up on the window, and starts pushing herself out the window as well, into the arms of the individual outside. She climbs out the window herself into that individual's arms, and for the first time, Danika, you especially would be able to see at least a little bit of the individual. You're expecting that tall, dark-haired man, the gaunt figure that you saw as a statue inside the dungeon of the Black bouquet in. But that's not what you see. The face you see is petite. It does have dark hair, but cut in a bit of a bob sort of cut. And the face is covered in a white skull-like mask that covers a feminine-looking small rosebud mouth. And then you see Ireena being pulled towards that person, and Ireena's out the window. Next up, we have another imp that's going to come flying over to Danika as well and try to make an attack. And I've once again rolled under a 10, so nothing.
Jeez, man.
Wow. That's okay. It'll come around eventually. Top of the turn order, we have Delphine with Vide on deck.
Okay. I'm going to move Delphine into the room. 5, 10, 15. Can I see Ireena out the window?
Oh, let me take a look at something. I did forget to do that. I forgot to take the barrier off there. Can you see her? Yes, you can now slightly see her.
Okay, cool. This is a new spell that I've never used before, but I think Delphine has. I'm going to have her cast Vortex Warp.
Vortex Warp. Where are you casting Vortex Warp?
On Ireena.
Okay, pop up Vortex Warp.
So you magically twist space around another creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw. They can choose to fail, or the target is teleported to an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within range. Chosen space must be on a surface or in a liquid that can support the target without the target having to squeeze.
Interesting. Okay, I like it. So, Delphine, seeing Ireena being pulled out the window and being caught by this woman with a skull mask, she casts Vortex Warp, trying to grasp and pull Ireena back through twisting space. Ireena has to make that con saving throw.
She can choose to fail.
You're right, she can choose to fail. But she's going to make a Constitution saving throw. However, an 11 is going to fail. And
Okay.
so, Ireena is disappeared and sucked through this portal. And she poofs where?
An unoccupied space of my choice that I can see within range. My line of sight ability here is kind of messed up because I have 2 characters worth of line of sight.
Yeah.
Pretty much just picture it say
Here.
inside the room this time,
Now that-
since you're not in there.
I'm gonna put her in this corner of the room over here.
Okay. A twist of space, and suddenly Ireena is popped into existence, and she kind of stumbles a little bit and has to catch herself against the wall. She looks around, very shocked and surprised. She looks over at you, Delphine, and she says, "What are you doing?"
Delphine just says, sorry.
Would she?
Not sorry.
Ashley, the spell that was used is Vortex Warp. It's a level 2 spell.
It's from Strixhaven, apparently. That's a cool spell.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, we lost you.
Oh, that was her movement and action. Do you have a bonus action you can do? Oh, wait a minute, no. Yeah, that is an action. Yeah.
I don't think so. Doesn't look like it.
Okay. Then that's it for Delphine. Vide, you're next.
Alright, I'm gonna attack this guy that's right in front of me. I'm assuming 18 hits
Yes, an 18 is going to hit.
for 8 damage.
8 points of damage. Clean, hard cut on the imp. It's barely still alive and kind of hanging there, nearly bisected by your sword.
That's gonna be it because I can't really move.
Fair enough. Next up is the imp that you just attacked. It's going to go ahead and make its attack in reprisal. Still under a 10. Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Keep it up.
Do I have the ability to roll higher today? I don't know.
Anything other than 9?
Okay. Next up we have is the mysterious individual that was outside pulling Ireena out. They come just flying into the room, almost Superman style, and lands on the ground in the middle of the room. Now, most of you at least can see her. Urzak, Corwan, the two of you cannot. But the rest of you can see a very short, thin, petite, dark-haired woman in an elaborate ball gown. She is wearing gold and red cream gown covered in jewels. She has an amulet around her neck, rings on her fingers, bracelets around her wrists. But the biggest feature is that white skull mask. That Vide, you look at it and you see it, and you kind of have a twinge of irritation as you see this mask on her face. It's not the same as yours. This covers from forehead to lips. But there is some similarities there. And she just scowls very angrily at all of you. She looks around and you hear her whisper, "And which one of you deprived me of my prize?" And her eyes settle on Delphine, because she did see Delphine cast the spell. And I'm going to need Delphine to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, I kind of like it spaced out for a second, but that's me, huh?
Yes, it is.
Wisdom saving throw? 17. Even though that says Urzak, it's Delphine.
Yeah. Where is... Why does it have no DC on there? What the heck? That's really irritating. Give me 1 second. I apologize.
DC 0.
Yeah, it's definitely wrong. Oh, I see why. Let me try that again. There it is. Good news is that is a success. So nothing happens. She looks at you and casts the spell at Delphine, but Delphine, your will is strong and you're able to push past it. That is gonna be it.
What is Phantasmal Killer?
Oh, no, actually, let's see.
It's a bad one. Or a good one if you're casting it.
I tried to. It said show spell description. I clicked.
Yeah, you can't click on other people's, but it's,
Yeah.
you just got to look it up yourself. It's weird. You're pretty much creating like nightmares and shit inside the person's head, and it does a lot of psychic damage to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot.
Well, Danika, you're up next.
I am going to use my rapier to take out that the hefted imp that Vide had just, gone for.
Okay, go for it.
24
24 does hit.
and 12 piercing.
12 piercing, you stab at the imp, and when your rapier pierces its flesh, it kind of resists your weapon, but it is enough to bisect it the rest of the way, and the imp does fall down dead.
Perfect. And then, will this get an attack of opportunity if I move to where that dead one is, right here?
Yes.
Okay, then I guess I'll stay right where I'm at.
Corwan, you're up next.
He will kind of peek his little head inside the door. And he's just, I guess, he's going to fire at the one just above Danika's shoulder with a sacred flame. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Did I click that? I just need to. It's a 13 dex for 3 radiant, but if they're resistant and necrotic, maybe radiant will hurt them.
Okay.
Since he's a clerical boy, he would know these things, right?
Not necessarily,
right?
But you can make an Arcana or Religion check to see if you know that.
Oh, god damn it. Lady Yadala, you failed me again.
Yeah,
no.
it's unfortunately with that 11, you have no clue whatsoever. However, you do see that the creature does get hit by the sacred flame and take damage.
I'm coming back into roll 20 since I guess it got upset with me when I said it sucked earlier and it kicked me out.
And don't forget you have Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, that did it again. That hit. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
I'll use it next time if I need it.
Okay, that imp that just got hit by Corwan is going to try to sting Danika. Hey, I rolled a 16, something above a 10. Does that 16 hit?
It does not.
Darn. It's coming right towards your face, but you bat it away with your rapier.
Wow.
Urzak, you're up.
Ooh, that's me. All right. I go into the room. I do it. So that's 5, 10, 15 feet of movement to get into the room. I want to try to get... Okay, so how much movement does it take to go through a friendly space?
It costs twice the movement.
If it's me, nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
for-
already past.
Yeah.
Cog.
Oh,
Okay, so I...
fuck you too.
Well, I mean, there's a space next to you to get in the door. It's fine. So I've used 15. I take 10 to get around Vide. And then I go my full 30 feet and end up in I try to get in between Ireena and this other person as best as I can and hold my action to attack if anything should come near Ireena.
Okay. Well, next up is Ireena, who, as you glance back, now that you're like imposing yourself between her and the enemies, you glance back and you just kind of see this wild-eyed, almost glazed expression on her face. Like her eyes are kind of slightly rolled upward in her head a little bit, and she looks frantic as she looks towards the woman over there in the ball gown, and she's going to try to push past you to get around you. Now, I am going to allow you to, if you want to, use your reaction to try to stop her from getting past you, Urzak.
Sure.
Okay, what you're going to need to do is do an opposed athletics check to kind of like you're basically. This is going to cause you to lose your held action because she's trying to get around you, and you have to stop what you're doing to grab her. But if you want to, you can, and it's just going to be an athletics check.
Okay. Roll 20 just kicked me out.
Yeah, it's doing it to me too hardcore. Like I can't even get anything back in on 2 computers.
Have you've reset the browser and all that?
Yeah, I just reset my computer, which it keeps doing that Cloudflare shit, where it's like we have to check the security of your connection. It's like
That's really weird.
Okay, That's like making me try to log in. Let me just roll it on here. Maybe it'll still be nice. Athletics? Ugh, it's a 9.
That's a 9? Oof. Unfortunately, that's not enough. She rolled a 15. She comes pushing past you. You're trying to grab onto her, but she just shoves past you, moving around the fireplace and through the imp that seems to have no problem letting her go by. 10, and runs over to the woman.
Ireena, what are you doing?
I have to go to her. I have to. She calls to me.
So she looks like. No, go on.
What's
it's
that?
Fine.
No, go ahead. What's that?
I was gonna say, can I like make a check? Because like I feel like I know Marty knows what's going on. Can I make like a insight check or something to see like what the vibe is here?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Because I have a feeling she's like possessed or under like suggestion or something. It's a 13.
It's with your 13. It's difficult to say for certain, but you can tell she's under some kind of influence. You're not sure exactly what it is, but you can definitely tell this is not the way she would normally be act. She's under some sort of influence right now.
Okay.
Next up is the imp that's to the left of Danika, and that imp is going to be attacking Danika. That's another 16, which I believe is a failure.
That it is.
Okay. We're at the top of the order with Delphine and Danika, or Vide on deck. Sorry, not Dan.
Okay. Well, I don't have Delphine's character sheet anymore because my roll 20 is broken.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me see if I can.
I'm going to try to pull it up right now
All
myself.
hail the Roll20 gods. We did not mean to offend. I'm even trying to hotspot my phone to see if it's like not like my internet connection. To see if that's gonna fucking work.
Yeah, it's still working for me. I'm just going to open it up.
And then I open up the game, and then
And it crashes.
It takes me back to the login screen.
Same here. It's even did it on my fucking phone. Even the app.
That is really weird.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, let me see what I can. I have the stream pulled up, so I'm going to try to look at the map that way. If we move Delphine into the corner by the door.
No, she can't move. She's got imps around her.
Yeah, she has 2 imps around her right now. One to the north and one to the west.
What's her armor class?
if she blade sings, it goes out.
Yeah, right now it's own because, it's a 16.
16. Okay.
But I wonder if that is.
And I don't know how many times she can blade sing a game.
Yeah, I don't want to waste that resource. I think
that's only if she would have cast mage armor on herself. Is the 16 because her dexterity is 3.
Wouldn't that be kind of like just a wake up in the morning and as part of your normal routine with a wizard?
Not necessarily. It lasts 8 hours, so it's one of those conscious things you do. So I'm
That's
going to say
fine.
probably not. So it would be 13 right now.
Okay. I think it'll be okay. It's just 2 imps, right?
Now, I will remind you that her normal go-to is her green flame blade
Right.
when she's in melee.
Okay. Yeah, why don't we just do that? That's fine.
Sorry, Dyto. You just said it's only 2 imps.
Well, I mean, if you think she would move, it's up to you. I just
I
remind you.
disengage, but I mean,
Yeah, I would remind you that normally what she does is she has her green flame blade that she attacks with. But again,
That's fine.
it's up to you.
I think we can roll with that. Yeah, just have her green flame blade, one of those two. I don't think it matters which one.
Okay. I will have her do that. We'll say it's probably the one to the north. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Chat has actually asked a good question. What's Ismark up to?
Oh, he's coming along. Don't worry.
Okay.
That rolled the damage. It didn't roll the attack.
Oh yeah, I think Dyto said that's been a problem.
Okay. Well, I just rolled a 25, a nat 20, so that's definitely gonna hit. And we'll use the because it just rolled damage on it, which is 8. She rolled a 5, so 5 points of damage, and then the fire shoots from one of the imps to the other.
Because of the nat 20.
Oh yeah, that's true. It actually would be. But I'm right now looking at the fire. Okay, one. Let's see. Cause the fire, the single creature takes fire damage equal to your spell casting modifier. Gotcha. Okay, so her spell casting modifier is 5. So the imp down here is going to take 5 points of. Well, is that fire damage? Yes, it is fire damage. So it would be 5 points of fire damage, which does not hurt the imp whatsoever. The other one would take double damage, so I'm going to just roll that one more time for Delphine. Another 1. Wow. Okay. Because we always just roll it twice on this. So it would be 6 points of damage. Okay. Now, are you going to move for her, or are you going to leave her where she is?
Probably where she is fine.
Okay.
Unless anybody else has any suggestions. It's kind of hard to see because I can't see the map at the moment.
Let's just say she's going to stay here for now. See if you can clear your cookies and reload Roll20 that way. Vide, you're next.
Okay. First of all, I do have a question. So if I were to move up here and then range attack this guy, is there like disadvantage or anything?
Yeah, because you are currently in melee.
Okay. Oh crap. Well, I'm still gonna move up this way. I'm gonna look at this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very happy. I'm gonna pick up my mask, put it up. I'm gonna look at her and say, "You're next." And do that to the imp. I'm assuming 10 does not hit.
10 does not hit.
Okay. Well, anyway, we'll look at. Well, shit, I just lost Roll20 now.
Man, what is up with Roll20 today?
I swear I only said one bad thing. I didn't mean it.
We love you, Roll20.
And then there were 2.
Just sell yourselves to wizards. They'll pump millions into you, and you'll be fine.
Well, yeah.
Hey. They'll get millions pumped into their system. You know, I mean, come on. They're making money over hand over fist right now. It's like I could just stick my phone up to my mic and play some. You guys like some in this moment? That's big in my head.
If only we had a bard.
So here's what's going on right now. The lady that was is over. Anyway, you see her casting a spell. Now, unfortunately, you don't have counterspell yet, so there's not a whole lot you can do with this. So I'm going to need everybody, including 2 of the imps, actually, make wisdom saving throws.
Okay.
See if I
How?
can.
Urzak.
Do you have the app on your phone?
Well, like I said, I brought the app up and it kicked me out of the app as well. So I'll see if I can.
I got a nat 20. I'm using D&D Beyond.
Yeah, you're using D&D Beyond. If anyone needs me to, I can. Okay. That's a failure. Nat 20 is a success. Do you want me to roll for you, Vide and Cog?
Yeah, you might as well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This Cloudflare shit keeps kicking me out.
Yeah.
And I guess if I need it, I'll use my Bardic.
Okay, this is going to be Cog. Cog, you rolled an 8.
Would the Bardic help if I even maxed it?
Even if you maxed it, it would not help.
Yeah, that's
So,
screwed.
no.
Nope.
So that is a failure. Vide. Rolling for you
Wait,
next.
does he have auras yet? Do you have auras yet?
Nope.
No, I think you get those
That's like
at
level
6 or
something.
7, yeah.
Next roll is for Vide. Vide, you rolled a 6. That is also a failure.
Yeesh.
So, what happens is this: the vampires creates a twisting pattern of colors that weaves through the air inside this 30-foot cube.
Oh.
The pattern appears for a moment and vanishes. Everyone who failed, which is everyone but Urzak, apparently, is charmed by the spell. You all are incapacitated, have a speed of 0. So that's what's going on right now. And I think that's probably actually a good place to pause for right now.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
So stay
Wait,
tuned. Yeah.
Before you go, I have a question. So for my Fey ancestry, it says you have advantage on saving throws against being charmed and magic that can't. And magic that can't put you to sleep. So would this affect that at all?
Yes, it would. And thank you for mentioning that. I need to do Delphine as well.
So do I get to roll again?
Or does she? Yes, you can go ahead and roll again.
Okay. Oh, I got a 15.
Okay. Delphine rolled a 7. Your 15, unfortunately, is also a failure.
Oh my god.
The DC is 16.
Ugh.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody but Urzak and the imps. I forgot I need to roll for the imps, but 4 and a 10. They're also failed. So everybody but Urzak right now is technically charmed. But are charmed, and they're seeing colors and patterns. So it's a different type of charm, but still. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go on break, folks. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Howdy, everybody. We are back. Roll20 seems to be working for right now, so we're just going to keep going with the adventure. when we last left off, this vampirous individual that was trying to kidnap Ireena had cast a hypnotic pattern on everybody in this area. And unfortunately for everybody but Urzak, they all failed. And so now all of them are just standing there, looking glassy-eyed at these whirling, spinning things. They are all incapacitated. They have a speed of 0. So, Danika, you are next in initiative order, but you can't do anything right now. All you can do is stand there as your eyes are clouded with these colorful lights and swirling patterns that just hypnotize you and keep you locked in place. However,
Okay.
at the end of your turn, you can make a wisdom saving throw. Oh, wait a minute,
Okay.
no, sorry. No, you cannot. You only can do that, yeah, never mind. I do apologize. You cannot do that.
Okay. Well, then I guess if I can't do
Yeah.
anything at my turn, I'm next.
Yeah, sorry about that. I misread it.
Can we do it at the beginning of my turn versus the end?
No, not exactly. It's kind of confusing how it happened, how it works. But none of your companions would really know how the spell works, so I'm really not going to explain it right to this moment. It's just your eyes are glazed over. You cannot see, you cannot do anything. You're just stuck there, hypnotized. Now next, Urzak, you would hear the door open back in the hallway, and Ismark come running into the room, looking about. What is going on? Where did all these things come from?
I don't. They were the window, I guess.
And he looks over and he sees Ireena there next to this vampire, and he just goes running. He only used 10 feet to get there. Now, let's see. So he's going to move, pushing Danika out of the way, runs past these two imps. They're both going to be making attacks of opportunity on him. That is a 12 and a 21. The 21 does hit for 6 points of piercing, and he needs to make a con saving throw. His con saving throw was a 6. That is a failure, so he is also going to take 11 points of poison damage.
Did any of the imps fail the wisdom check?
Yeah, they all did.
Oh
for the
shit,
pattern?
they did. You're right, they did. So they would not have been able to do that. Thank you for reminding me. I completely forgot that they had also failed.
Get you
Or at
back,
least
Ismark.
those two. Because that happened at the exact same time everything
Yeah.
fucking broke down, so wasn't able to mark who got what on there. But yeah, he pushes past the two imps and Danika, runs over to Ireena. He's going to make a athletics check against Ireena to try to pull her away from the vampire.
Do better than me. God, you did worse than me. So.
I rolled a nat 1. Jesus Christ. The only way she can, not pull away is if she also rolls a nat 1. But she rolled an 18. She yanks herself away. No, brother! Get away from me! I am going with this one! That's his turn. Corwan, you are also incapacitated and are seeing colors, so you have no clue what's going on.
Do we get to make new checks of any
Nope.
kind? Or...
Nope, not right now, unfortunately. Urzak, you're up next.
Okay. Easy enough. I'm going to move 20 feet to this vampire's location. And I am going to, finally, for the first time this combat, I think, make an attack.
Okay, make an attack.
Actually, before I do that, is this a bonus action? No, it's an action. Okay, then I won't do that yet. I'm just going to attack. Normally, because I'm not exhausted anymore. Oh my god. 14.
14 does not hit.
Okay, I didn't think so. That's it. I miss.
Fair enough. Next up is a imp that's also befuddled, so they're not going to be doing anything. Ireena is after that, and Ireena is going to physically shove her brother, or at least attempt to. She rolled an 8 versus his 21. So although he wasn't able to grab her this time, she just she shoves him and hits nothing but solid muscle, and he does not move an inch. She is going to attempt to back away from her brother now and get herself between the vampire. That's going to be her turn. Next up is an imp that can't do anything. Next up is a Delphine who can't do anything. Next up is a Vide who can't do anything because they're all just hypnotized. And so we come to the turn of the vampire, who has just been threatened quite physically by Urzak. She is going to first rise up and this is the first time you've seen her physically stand up straight. Her hands go to her sides, claws start to pull out from her fingertips into these sharp talons. And she is attempting to slash at you and grab onto you, Urzak. That's a 20 to hit.
That'll do it.
You're going to take 8 points of slashing damage, and I need you to make a never mind. It's instead of dealing damage. So never mind on that.
Oh, okay.
So, no, she just slashes at you. She's going to do so again for a second time. That's another 20.
Okay.
For 8 more points of slashing damage. I'm going to just roll a third time to make sure it's not locked or anything. No, it's not. Okay. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't locked in something.
Okay.
And then she just hisses at you, loud and angrily. Danika, you are unable to do anything right now. It's Ismark's turn, and Ismark looks back at everyone just kind of standing there zombified. And he yells out to everyone, "What is going on? Everyone, help us, please!" And then he is going to turn back and attempt to attack the vampires. He pulls out he has a long sword that he had belted to his side, and he draws this weapon and tries to make a two-handed swing at her. A 17 does hit. Slashing for 14 points of damage.
Get him, Ismark.
However, as he cuts through it, you notice, Urzak, you're pretty clever, and you've been fighting for a long time. You notice that he has some resistance to that swing as it's cutting through her, and when the slash goes through the rest of the way, you can tell that she was not cut nearly as deeply as you were hoping she would.
Okay.
Cog cannot do anything, so Urzak, you are up next.
All right. Does point of order? Does this vampire need to make like a concentration check on hypnotic pattern?
Let me double check.
I actually don't know how hypnotic pattern works.
Actually, you are correct. That hit would have made her roll a concentration check.
Please fail. Please.
She has to roll a 10.
Don't.
Nat 20.
Be for real.
Boom. Now, oh, cool. The roll 20 chat finally popped up on the screen.
Okay. You said it's my turn.
It is your turn.
Okay. I am going to use a bonus action and cast Wrathful Smite. I rolled the damage for some reason. I don't know why. I want to just show the spell, not roll it. Thank you. Next time I hit with a melee weapon attack, the attack does an additional 1d6 psychic damage. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be frightened of me until the spell ends. So I will do that, and then I will attack with my longsword, and hopefully roll better this time. I beg of you.
Okay, swing away.
That's much better. That's a 23.
That's definitely going to hit.
Okay, I'm going to burn another spell slot to do a Divine Smite. So this will be... where's Divine Smite? Okay, so this is going to be 3d8 plus 1d6 plus 4.
But roll the longsword damage separately.
Okay. The longsword damage is 5.
Okay.
The Divine Smite and the Wrathful Smite. So D8 and a D2d8 and a D6. That is 11 damage. 5 of which is psychic, 6 of which is radiant.
Okay. You slash into her, burning with an explosion of radiant energy. She staggers backwards, hissing in pain. First, I'm going to make the wisdom saving throw for this.
DC is 12.
No, it's half the damage, or a minimum of 10.
Oh, sorry, I meant for Wrathful Smite.
Yeah, this is for the concentration check first. Oops, I actually clicked the wrong thing. I rolled a wisdom check, not a save, but I rolled a second nat 20, which is insane. So there's that. Did maintain concentration. Next is for your psychic deal. And she rolled a 9, which is a failure.
So she is frightened of me until she makes the save at the end of her next turn, I think.
Let's see. As an action, the creature can make a wisdom saving throw. Let's see. Frightened of you until the spell ends. So it's concentration up to a minute.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah. As of right now, she is terrified, and you're standing over this woman who is a good head and shoulders shorter than you are, Urzak. And you just watch as the fear behind that masked face just floods her eyes, and she takes an unintentional half step backwards. Not enough for like an attack of opportunity, but just to show that she's afraid.
Good, she should be.
Next up is an imp that can't do anything. Ireena sees that this happens as well, and she's going to grab onto the vampiress and pull her backwards. So she can only pull her back 15 feet of movement. This does not cause an attack of opportunity because it's forced movement.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, back to right there. Actually, she would probably be more like that. But anyway, so she grabs onto the vampire, seeing you attack her, and is pulling her away as though to get her away from you. Next up is the imp that can't do anything. Next up is Delphine, who can't do anything at the top. So here, okay, we're at top of turn order. That's it. So, at the top of turn order, like you just watched this woman being pulled away from you. You're all, or at least you, Urzak, are getting ready to face down this woman standing next to Ireena's brother, Ismark. Both of you have your swords ready, getting in that perfect moment, waiting to charge and fight her off. When suddenly, the entire room just explodes in wind that knocks everyone back, stumbling backward. Everyone is pushed backwards 5 feet. Ireena is knocked through the bathroom door and falls to the ground. The vampiress herself goes stumbling back and hits a chair. Everyone else gets pushed back as well, including the imps, as in a bolt of blue and black light, a man emerges from a swirl of mist. This man is tall, taller than you, Urzak, by at least a foot or more. He has long black hair that is swept backwards from his brow, which shows a very sharp widow's peak. His eyes are the color of coal. His lips are curled upward in an irritated snarl as he looks about everyone. You see, standing before you in the middle of this room, the Count himself, Strahd von Zarovich. Strahd looks at each one of you in turn before turning back to face the woman that is now kind of half pushing herself out of the chair. He says, "What is this woman?" And he intones this so grimly as his gaze is sweeping about. There is nothing but coldness in those dark, piercing eyes. None of you are able to suppress a shudder. And you can all feel in this moment that those of you who were hypnotized, your minds are becoming clear as you gaze upon the vestige of this man. None of you are charmed any longer. None of you are able to suppress this shudder. It's just this indomitable presence chills you all to the bone. This man before you is clearly Strahd von Zarovich. He bears the frame of one who has spent a lifetime as a soldier. His body is lean and muscular. He is wearing a finely tailored coat and breeches of the purest black, with a white shirt underneath, whose laces have been left open to reveal a large amulet made of gold, with a massive ruby in the center that is the color of blood. He has a long cape hanging about his shoulders, which is thrown back to reveal a longsword buckled at his waist. He turns his head back to the woman, and he says in a deep, resounding voice, "You know my law, Valenta. Until I give permission, these are to be left alone. You dare defy me in this?" The vampire sputters a reply, but an arched eyebrow from the Count silences her, and she shrinks back from his gaze towards and just kind of huddles there next to the chair that's been leaning against the wall. "As for the rest of you," he says, as his gaze turns back towards you all standing in the doorway, "I had hoped my warning outside the Black Bouquet Inn would have been enough to dissuade you all from the notion of thievery while you travel my lands. And yet the baker woman Morgan tells me a different story. Lawfully traded property is property owned, regardless of your personal views on the subject. As though any of you can claim moral virtue." His eyes gaze around to each of you. And Cog, you're standing in the back of the doorway, but his eyes go straight to you, and you can't help but take an involuntary step forward into the room as he looks at you. Your heart starts thundering in his chest as his eyes trace along every single one of your features, almost as though you yourself were an encyclopedia for him to thumb through at his leisure. A so-called holy man whose heart and mind are filled with lechery, as are the pages he tirelessly fills night after night. One last adventure before retirement claims you. Isn't that, halfling? One last report to put your name upon?
Maybe, I don't know about one last adventure. I mean, I haven't had a whole lot of them in my life.
The moment you start talking, he arches this eyebrow at you, and your voice like kind of catches in your throat. His presence is excruciatingly intimidating. And you can't help but feel your mouth like kind of dry up a little bit as he looks at you. But his gaze soon turns towards Urzak, standing next to Ismark. Another faithful. And as he says that last word, it's as though he were saying some abhorrent curse or slur. Whispering in the darkness to something that isn't really there. You say, "Father, I must confess. I may not look it, but I am surely a mess. I am humble in admission, but prideful in my belief that I am far beyond repair." But do you get an answer, half-orc? I think not. His gaze next turns toward Vide. And this time, his eyes narrow. You're still wearing the mask over your face, but his eyes lock onto you. And this one. Holes in your clothes, booze on your breath. His gaze sweeps everyone in the room. You all look like hell, but this one smells of death. He's about to continue on as his gaze goes towards Danika, but a sound stops him in that moment. He turns and looks back to see Ireena stepping out from the bathroom, looking towards everyone. And in that moment, you see Strahd's... Well, his back is to you all, so you really don't see his eyes. But you see a shift in his posture. He seems to whisper something, barely audibly. Anyone who wants to try to hear can make a perception check.
Why not? 6.
A 20.
Did I do it? I got a 6.
Probably not.
Boo. Hate this game.
14.
For some reason, it rolled Delphine's with guidance.
Weird. Probably something to click. So yeah, it would only be a 5.
There's a box to auto-click it.
Corwan. Those big O ears on the side of your head, you're able to hear just the barest whisper as he says, "And so again." But then he turns sharply towards the vampiress. "You dare!" He bellows before striding in an instant right there next to her. He slaps her as hard as he can, and she goes flying to the floor. He's at her side at an instant again, kicking her once, twice, with the point of his hard leather boot, and it sends out a gasp from the woman and then a moan in pain as she just drops to the floor. The mask flies off of her face from the impact of the second kick and clatters a few feet away, right there next to the window between them. The woman, as she lays there in pain, you watch as she reaches out towards the mask, but you can also hear this sound coming from her. The woman begins to giggle and mutter to herself in this low, barely audible voice. But as she's reaching towards the mask, Strahd's boot comes down right on her hand, stomping on it hard. "This will not be tolerated," he coldly informs the vampiress as he looks down upon her. He turns towards each of you, and you see a completely different sight. There's not this cold methodology that you saw a moment ago. This is raw, pure fury from this vampire, and I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, fuck.
Is this a fear-based thing?
This is a fear-based thing.
Natural 20 for Urzak.
That's a 6.
And an 18 for Delphine.
Woohoo!
And I'm 11.
An 11 for Ismark.
Yep, I'm scared.
That's 25 cog. Yeah, what's up?
Okay. So,
You don't want Strahd to feel upset, so he's gonna pretend to be scared.
everyone except for Urzak and Corwan are immediately filled with fear. You are absolutely terrified of the raging monster that's standing before you all. And all of you take a step backwards from him. He says, "As for you all, we will continue our conversation about the child Davos another time." Strahd then seizes the woman's hair, who he called Valenta, and pulls her upright before the both of them explode into a dark mist that spreads outward before pouring through the open window and into the night.
Oh, well now. Are the imps still here?
The imps, the moment the cloud of smoke pours through, you see them all starting to flap away as well and flying out the window. You could make attacks of opportunity if you wanted to, but I honestly feel in this moment you're just so caught up with what you saw that I don't think any of you would.
Probably not.
Ireena, standing at the bathroom door, just puts her hand against the wall and clutches her chest. She's trembling. Her skin is deathly pale, and she is breathing heavily in what you can correctly assume to be a panic attack.
I mean, Cog's got a little more of his senses. You know, halflings, they're a special breed of people. And he's just gonna see her freaking the fuck out. He's like, all right, dear, let's get you sit down, okay? And he's gonna pull out some of that, what was the liquor we got from that, grappa?
Oh, the grappa?
The bottle of grappa. He's like, you know what? Picked us up from that inn, the place that he, I guess he warned us about. I don't remember a warning, guys. Did you remember a warning? Or was it the weird guy hanging in the tree? I don't know what that was. And he's he's going a lot faster than he normally does, because he is just trying to keep a grasp of the situation. He's like, all right, dear, just sit down. It's like, take a swig of this. It'll take the edge off.
Yeah, you lead her over to that chair that Valenta had been crouching next to and sit her down. And there is like a pewter mug on the table nearby that you could pick up and pour some of that grappa into. I don't know if anybody here has actually had grappa before, but it's sort of like made like vodka. It's made a similar way. It's just distilled liquor, but made from grapes.
Yeah, as I say, it's fruity. I couldn't remember what kind of.
Yeah, it's just very, very strong. Has a very good flavor, but yeah, it's made from grapes.
So he'll pour that to her, and then he's just gonna swig the bottle. Take out another. He had 3. He's gonna hold another bottle out to the group. It's like, I think everybody needs some of this.
Yeah, Urzak was kind of standing there for like a solid minute after the fact. Throughout the entire time that Strahd was in the room, did his best to like maintain that sort of stoic, like, I don't like, this doesn't faze me that much impression. But the second like Strahd's gone and like they've had a minute to like sit there and like process that, he just kind of falls over onto his butt, just sits on the floor, just like, oh my god.
Yeah, Green Bean, you're more than a half orc. You're also half human. I just want you to. That was kind of rude that he said that.
That's not what I'm even remotely worried about
I
right now.
got you. I got you.
Vide's
And
gonna-
lechery. Lechery. Really? That was just... Yeah, I'm writing a romance novel about my two friends. Why is that lechery? Take another swig. He'll bring the bottle over to Urzak. He's like, you need this, buddy.
Takes it. I'm gonna pretend this is...
I think as Ismark is walking by, he's going to grab that bottle from you real quick, just take a big swig, and then hand it back.
Just shake it, kind of turn it upside down. He goes, yeah, dude, there's... I got more. Pull out the second bottle. It's like they
Where's
call you
for?
the
Oh, sorry.
thought you were the lesser. That seems to be the morer, thank you. Then he'll pop it and pour. I guess he'll grab it in the goblet and, give the goblet to Urzak.
Ismark says, I had never seen Strahd in my life. I had imagined him many, many, many ways, but not like that. What happened? I awoke to hear the sounds of fighting in the next room. I came running and found you all fighting that woman with the mask.
Yeah.
Who was that?
I think he said her name was Valenta, but we're new here. I'm assuming she's one of his minions, his people. I'm guessing she brought the imps. So,
Ireena, what happened? What was going on? She looks at her brother. She's been holding that pewter cup filled with alcohol that Corwan had given her, and as he asks her this, she just downs the whole thing in one big gulp. I do not know, brother. I remember awaking to the sound, a voice. I thought, I don't know what I thought. I sat up out of the bed, and the next thing I know, I'm being thrown violently into the bathroom. Was that Count Strahd? And Ismark nods very solemnly. Yes, sister. That's the only one it could be. But how, brother? How did he get in here? All the tellers tell that a vampire cannot enter a room or a home without an invitation. Ismark hangs his head. He says, I don't know, sister. I just don't know. All I know... Go ahead.
Danika's gonna chime in, and she's gonna be like, well, Ireena, you were halfway climbing out the window when we first got here.
Climbing out the window? No, that is not possible.
No, you were climbing out the window to that masked woman when we walked in the room.
I wouldn't call it climbing as much as I'd call it being dragged out at the time.
Yeah, it was like a mix of both.
Now you see, Ireena. Now you see why we must get you out of Jova. It's not safe for you here. These vampires are obviously targeting you. Ireena kind of shudders a little bit, and her hand goes up to her neck. to those marks that Corwan you had seen when you first met her. Yes, brother, I will go. We must hurry. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Oh, what was it that Cog heard him whisper to her before he flipped out and went to town on the... He said, and so again, or...
Correct.
Are you sure you've never met him before?
She shakes her head. No, I've never seen either of them before in my life.
Before he started, doing a little footsie dance on her face, he started to whisper something to you like, I want to say it's so we meet again, but he was interrupted. I think he knows you. Very well, in fact.
She looks really confused at that.
Dare I say he probably gave you that. He's just gonna point to her neck.
In my dreams, I would dream of a pair of eyes, but they were not the eyes of the devil. Those eyes were pure evil. No, the eyes I saw were feminine eyes. Soft eyes.
Well, I don't know what to make of that, but he definitely seems like he looked at you with I don't know, admiration or love almost. Maybe obsession is a better word. Maybe it's a little even more than that.
The only thing I saw was anger. Fury, pure fury.
I think that anger was towards everyone else, except for you. You're the only one he didn't menace or attack.
I definitely felt the fear as he looked at all of us.
I think that's just a natural. He was a very intimidating figure.
As you say that, the skies above you, you hear a loud crack of thunder. Ismark says, regardless of what has happened, it is imperative that we get Ireena out of Veros. Ireena, you said you packed a bag, yes? She nods. Get it, and get dressed. We must be going. It is not long before dawn. And he walks over to the window and looks out, and as he does so, the wind whips through the open window, pulling the curtains about and fanning them out, filling the area. Ismark walks up to the window, the open window, and looks out of it, and my gods! The clouds! He points up there and motions to everyone to come over, and you all come running to cram yourselves into this small broken window to look up. And as you do so, you hear a much louder rumble of thunder. The skies overhead are dark and thick with clouds. There are strong gusts of wind that rushes through the room, filling it with this cold chill. You can hear the sounds of the shutters on the outer walls shaking, and the very shingles on the rooftop clattering and shaking as well. You all look up to see the clouds gathering into a single mass that pulses and undulates as it forms and molds itself to create a face that you've only recently become familiar with. The very face of Strahd von Zarovich himself. This face seems to build up and look downward over the village, almost as though the clouds are looking directly at the window where you are all standing. The face opens its massive lips, and a voice that sounds like thunder echoes across the village. Peasants of Jova, I, your dread lord and master, demand your obedience. There is one among your people, Ireena Koliana. She will be brought to Castle Ravenloft no later than sundown tonight. Compliance will be richly rewarded. Failure shall be swiftly disciplined. My will has been spoken! And with the word spoken, the clouds explode into thousands upon thousands of bats that fly all throughout the village, screeching and flapping in a torrent as they pass. They circle around the village once and twice before flying high up into the sky and dispersing outward. And once they are gone, the village and the house are eerily quiet. So quiet, in fact, that each of you can audibly hear the sound of your hearts pounding within your chest. Well, at least most of you. And I think that's an excellent place to end things for this evening.
Everything's fine. I'm great. I'm so cool right now. Everything's so good. I had a great time. I love Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, thanks to everyone who watched this evening and sticking through us through the technical difficulties. We very much appreciate you hanging out with us. Let's go around the table and introduce ourselves and tell us where we can find each other on the internet. I don't remember who it was the last time. Who wants to go first? Go for it, Natalie.
Oh, okay.
Hi, I'm Natalie. You can find me here on Matt's page. Oh my god, I'm blanking. On Random Rhapsody. Sorry, guys.
Wow.
I know. It's been a long work day. Just give me it this once.
Yep.
But you can find me here as Danika. I'm kind of sad I didn't get to use my Nat 20. I should have used it. I should have just jumped at it.
Oh, we forgot about that. Use it real quick. Think of something to use it for.
I don't know what to use it for. I mean, like, can I use it next week as like my first attack?
I make Strahd die. I got a
There's
nat 20.
no one to attack.
Oh my god. Can I left a good impression on Strahd because I had a good smell?
Oh my god.
Sure,
Like-
why not?
Like not even, it doesn't have to be good, but it was memorable.
Oh, it was the smell of your boot was definitely rememberable with that nat 20. Oh, I'm sorry we forgot about that. That hypnotic pattern kind of fucked you. But
I could've
anyway,
used it then to-
oh yeah, she could have used it then. That would have been a good call. Anyway, Marty, why don't you go next?
Hey, I'm Marty. You can find me here every other Wednesday on Sonnet of Blood. You can also find me on Bard Rock Cafe, where I play Baragon Doubletail. You can also find me on my own actual play show, Wayfaring Strangers, which is gearing up to actually start releasing some stuff later this month. Actually, I think by the next time we play, we'll have a new episode out.
Nice.
So that'll be cool. Yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff I'm working on that I don't want to talk about right now. So find out later.
Fire enough. Brandie, how about you?
I'm Brandie. You can find me here every Monday at 3 p.m. playing everyone's favorite turtle monk, Elegy the Dragon Rider, in the Debauchery Circus campaign. I'm also obviously here every other Wednesday playing Vide. I'm on Instagram and TikTok and all that is at RiverDragon82. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, Joe, take us home.
Well, when I am not the adorable Corwan Oliver Goodwood, I am Blood from Stone on Monday nights at 7 o'clock on Random Rhapsody. Our campaign is better than the afternoon group, but we don't want to tell them that. We are getting to the end game, coming up, big fights coming up, some stuff that we probably all potentially will die. So tune in for that if you want to see possible TPK, because you know Matt's itching to do that here. Why not do it there? And I am on Twitter at Blood from Stone, but I don't do much there. So, but yeah, we have fun, craziness.
Indeed, we do. Well, I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and GM here on the Random Rhapsody Network. You can follow me on the tweets and the instas as at Scruffy Wanderer. And besides running and playing games here, you can also find me on the Transverses All on the Table TTRPG content. So, on behalf of everyone here in the cast and crew, I would just like to say, thank you, folks. It's been a delight. So long. Good luck. And until next time, may you live until you die.
die.
Good night.